Hello YouTube, and welcome back to the Advance Wars Dual Strike Randomized Skills and COs playthrough. Now, the first thing that should be apparent on this screen is why does it say that I've used Kanbei and Sonya 3 times? Well, funny story. This is a different save file. See, I played through missions 4 and 5, like I was going to, and then I saved over it, and then I looked at the video file that had been recorded, and, turns out it was so laggy that it was completely unusable. I thought I had fixed all of the lag problems, but Mission 5 has a bigger map, so I guess that caused more lag problems. I don't really know why. So what I have done is, I played through the first 3 missions on a separate save, using Kanbei and Sonya, of course. It's really easy. You can actually make them invincible with this patch. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through 4 and 5 again like normal, and then I will switch back over to the other save file and take measures to prevent that from happening again. So it looks like for the rest of this playthrough I'm going to be recording on a lower quality than normal. But, you know, a lower resolution and all of that, so hopefully that's not a huge problem. I'm going to play through the 2 missions exactly as I did in the first recording, so I've technically already ruled the COs and everything. But, so yeah, Mission 4 is ridiculously easy. I don't think there's anything you could do to make this challenging. There are, unfortunately, a couple of missions in Advance Wars DS that are like that, even on hard mode, and this is one of them. This was originally a tutorial for 2 things. 1, anti-air units, we've got plenty of those, and it was a tutorial on real-time time limits, because those are a thing in Dual Strike. You have 30 minutes to complete this map before that missile drops on you, even though every turn is technically a day. I don't really know how it works. So, when I rolled the COs the first time, Sasha came up twice. So, I had already decided that if I rolled the same CO twice, I would use a CO that has a tag partner compatibility. So that means colon, because that's the only compatibility that Sasha has, even though she's, like, she has a bonus with Jake, but it's not, like, it doesn't have any stars. So you don't get a luck boost. Yeah, it's really weird. But the thing is, you know, I don't think they need any skills. I forgot what skills I used, but I don't think they need them. So let's just do no skills for this map, because, like, this map is so easy, you could actually complete it in 3 or 4 turns. Which kind of makes the 30-minute time limit kind of redundant and pointless and dumb. But yeah, let's get underway. I just want to get through this as quickly as possible. You'll see how easy it is. Okay, so starting with, I'm going to start with a missile. So yeah, I apologize for all of the tech junk that I have to deal with, but I guess this is a very much new thing. I haven't really recorded a Let's Play in this fashion. I mean, like, I've done DS Let's Plays. I actually did Advance Wars DS way back, but the thing was, back then, it was just, like, recording it, you know, just recording the gameplay and then commentating over it later. It should still be on my account, in fact, the DS playthrough I did. The problem is that it used YouTube annotations as, you know, to put the commentary in. And the thing about that is they actually deleted all of the annotations from YouTube, which is really awful. But, you know, them's the breaks. Don't expect a good feature to be around for much longer. YouTube is a lot like your favorite video game series in that regard, I guess. Yeah, it's actually really sad. There were a lot of great playthroughs that used YouTube annotations for their commentary. Okay, so it's the end of the turn. It should... I'm guessing that Jugger already has his super. Oh yeah, he definitely does. So it's time to learn why everyone loves Sasha. This is why. Her regular CO power, not her super, her regular power can reduce the enemy's power meter. It depends on how much money Sasha has, so this could be a lot or it could be a little. But the thing is, that's really good for breaking the AI in Advance Wars DS, because they never use their powers unless they're absolutely full. Like, they might use a regular power now and again, but a super power, they have to be at full to even consider using it. Unfortunately, casualties are expected. So it's possible throughout most of the campaign to spam Sasha's regular power and never have to deal with a tag break, for instance. Of course, I call it a tag break. It's technically a tag power, but whatever. Tag break, dual strike, whatever you want to call it. I should not have done that. I should have actually used the missile on that plane, or that copter, but whatever. So yeah, as if breaking the mission itself by just playing normally weren't enough. Oh, that was a good example of a big luck boost. Right. So yeah, at the end of your turns, just use Sasha's regular power and you'll never have to face Jugger's super. This especially works if you are dealing with 2 enemy COs, because then you avoid tag breaks completely. But in that case, it would be a good idea to use Sasha as your CO for whatever team is going last, because there are maps with multiple teams. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that I still got 300 points here, because it is very difficult to not get 300 points here. I don't think there's any way to make that map challenging. Maybe if you selected... who has a penalty to vehicles? Sammy? I guess Sammy, but yeah, it was not a perfect 300, but that's fine. That's my penalty for having to do this again, I suppose. So who would make that map challenging? Probably Sammy, because there's no infantry, and,
Mission complete.
well, I'll think of something. Like, I've actually tried Mission 2 on hard mode with Max. It was not good at all. I don't think you can complete that mission with Max. You're too reliant on the artillery. So if someone can find a map that you can't beat Mission 4 with, I'll take that challenge. So Mission 5. This is probably the first mission besides Jake's Trial that is difficult to play in on hard mode, because you've got a massive enemy force. Cole has a lot more properties than you. He's got plenty of money, and he can build Neotanks. You actually cannot, because you're still stuck with units that cost 8,000 or less, so you can't make any Neotanks. Still, it's possible to beat this, and I wrote down what COs that I rolled and what skills that I rolled, so here they are. I'm just going to leave that up, and then I will go and set everything up. So it's going to be Kindle, and she has nothing but boosts, it seems. Plus 10 direct attack, plus 10 city attack, even though she's already the CO that fights better on cities. Pathfinder, and plus 2 capture. And the other CO, you know, I probably should have selected the clone CO color palette, because that's the thing. Because we're playing with, where is he? Olaf. These COs are organized so weird. So for Olaf, I only selected star power. And I've already beaten this, so I know it's possible, in case anyone was wondering. So, whoops, got rid of star power, I'll put that back. Negative vision, negative sea attack because there's no water on the map, and negative stealth attack because you can't get a stealth in this map. And I know people are, you know, I'm thinking that I should probably do something about my ability to metagame the penalties that I have to select, because I've selected a C penalty, and there's no C in this map at all. So maybe I should think about that at some point, but let's hope that the recording actually turns out okay. This is Mission 5. It's definitely a tricky one. Alright. So I'm gonna ignore that base at the top. Cole is eventually going to get that base no matter what, basically. But he won't get it for a very long time, so I might as well just get away from it and focus on capturing this airport, because that's clearly what you're supposed to do. Clearly. Right. I'm gonna be aggressive here, because you kind of need to be aggressive. If Cole gets to the base in the center of the map, that's gonna be a lot more difficult to defeat. So, he's also got 2 B-copters incoming, so I was saving up money for an anti-air. So good thing I have the money for it now. Capturing the city is okay. So let's see here. I'm gonna move the artillery here, because I want to destroy this mech. Should be very easy to do, because it's gonna start capturing. I think that's it for this turn. This map takes quite a number of turns. It can be more of a slog than you'd expect most maps to be, so my commentary is probably going to suffer for it, because I'm going to be focused on the gameplay. Talking and playing at the same time is not something I'm perfect at, but I have gotten some experience with it in the past. I mean, 10 years on YouTube should have gotten me something, I guess. Right. Let's go. I'm going to check the range on these B-copters. You know, controlling Advance Wars DS with a mouse is actually not that bad at all. Better than I was expecting at any rate. Alright. Time to start making some artillery. Artillery are going to be super, super helpful, because when Cole gets Neotanks, like, he builds one on turn 4. And I haven't even lost any units yet. I guess I should have saved up money for a second anti-air, but there's no way to nail both copters. Anyways. Oh, well, actually, if I had built an anti-air here, then I would have been able to nail the second copter, but I'm so strapped for cash anyways. Probably going to lose a unit because it's very difficult to have both of those B-copters destroyed by this turn. And because Cole's CO powers charge up very quickly, he's eventually going to get them. Right. You also got to be careful of the mini-cannon range. They added these mini-cannons to hard mode. And they make things so much more painful. Well, maybe not that much more painful. I mean, it's possible to use an expensive unit to distract the cannon while your infantry is capturing. But, yeah, having to do that, more than a little annoying. At least Kindle has Urban Blight. That's a regular power. It inflicts 3 damage to all units that are on a building of some kind. So that makes it... it's pretty annoying to face in single-player mode, but if you're playing as her, then it's very nice. You can force the enemy to spend more money repairing a unit that they just built. Or you can stall a capture for longer periods of time. Okay. So that's the B-copters dealt with. This anti-air is going to get busted by infantry eventually. And I will start capturing. The mech went for an attack instead of a capture. That's very interesting. Like, Advance Wars DS has a way better AI than the previous 2 games, but sometimes it'll still do something maybe a little questionable. So, with all that out of the way, now it's time to get some artilleries, because there's no more air units. Unless Cole manages to get the airport, but he usually does not. I think one of his infantry would have to come over the mountains, which might happen if he uses this super very effectively. And he actually built an APC up there. That's very unusual. Like, normally you would not see an APC. And he built another infantry. That's also very weird. He's saving up all of his money. I've never seen that before from this map. That's very weird. Normally he would have a Neotank by now. Oh, and thanks to that +2 capture skill, it didn't matter that the infantry had taken some damage. So that building is now ours, and let's see, if I attack the mini cannon with this tank, then we're going to get hit. That was probably a mistake. Shouldn't have put the artillery in range. Oh well, it'll go for the tank actually, because the tank it aims at wherever it can do the most money damage. So using this anti-air, for example, I could distract it from both units. And this tank is going to be weird. So let's lock him in. That's nice. Let's go ahead and change to Olaf, because I want to charge his CO power. The CO that you've got in reserve actually does gain a CO meter, but at a much slower rate than the current active CO. Yeah, there's his Neotank. It took him a while to build it for some reason. So we actually do want to destroy this mini cannon. Let's go here. Not going to be a lot of damage, but soften it up a little bit, and you'll be able to get rid of it on the next turn, maybe. Okay, now we can, oh, we don't have the urban bonus that, Kindle normally has, because I switched to Olaf. But whatever. Also important to defend your HQ, because if you ignore that base at the top, eventually Cole's gonna reach your HQ and start messing with it. And there's also this little gap in the mountains. You gotta be watchful of that too, because the Neotanks can come through there as well. Anyway, let's move on to the, let's move on to that airport. You don't really need to destroy any of the other mini cannons. This first one is just an annoyance because it's like right in front of the base you really want to capture. Right. And the artillery is, interestingly enough, positioned in such a way that I could capture it without fear of being attacked. Very strange. You could also, like, have your infantry step over the mountain in order to lure the Neotank towards it, because it'll go for the attack if it has the opportunity. So far, I think everything's good. This is technically my third attempt at the stage. So, if it seems like I'm making a mockery of this map, just know that I had to fail it 2 times first. Well, actually, I failed it only once, but it did take quite a while to do it the second time. So yeah, even if the recording ended up being useless, it was good to just familiarize myself with the level again, because I have not played this with anybody besides Kanbei in a very long time. And why would you not select Kanbei? Maybe you're doing a silly little challenge like this. Alright. OBS is giving me a little error message. Well, I'll ignore it for now. Hopefully that doesn't mean the recording is going to be useless. Seriously, I turned down the resolution. This should not be a problem. Right, those units can probably just stay there. And we've got a dual strike coming very soon. Ah, but the enemy has a Neotank coming our way. Took him long enough, but Cole's finally busting out the Neotanks. Like in the original run, he got to Neotanks a lot sooner. Well, actually, he decided to build them a lot sooner. So it was very difficult dealing with all of that. Now it's time to start cranking out the air units. What is the range of this thing? Ooh. That's not good. I shouldn't have moved there. Oh, use the anti-air as a distraction. And I've got some money saved up. What should I spend it on? Probably more artillery for defenses. How did I get so much money? I guess I just decided that I didn't really need anything else. I've got a tag power ready, too. Unfortunately, you can't combine Winter Fury with Urban Blight, because they're a super and a regular power, respectively. If Urban Blight was the super, then you'd definitely be able to combine them. Oh, he's holding back his Neotanks. And he's also building a lot less anti-air as well. That's another thing. In the original run, he built a lot of anti-airs. Yeah, that was certainly causing problems. So you can get bombers, even though you're restricted in what ground units you build. Let's start with a B-copter. And just get this cannon out of the way, because I don't like how it looks. I definitely don't want the base to be captured. So go ahead and do that. So yeah, not much more to say here. This should take not much longer. I've actually gone to the airport much quicker than expected. Fire at the mech, because I don't want to deal with it. And those mini cannons, oddly enough, they actually add to the amount of experience points you earn at the end of the map. Not that that really matters, because everyone's maxed in this playthrough, or in the save file, rather. But I guess it's worth noting, if you want to spend more time destroying a mini cannon than necessary just to get some extra points. Time for a T-copter. And we see a Neo-Tank coming in through there. Has he not attacked? Is he that afraid of artillery? Really weird. Let's see what he does. I should probably have switched to Kindle by this point, but when you use attack power, you kind of want the mass damage to come out first and foremost. Alright, now he's building some anti-airs. Like, when you start building air units, the computer suddenly thinks, oh, I need to build lots of anti-air. So here we will... I don't want to dual strike just yet. I think I need one additional copter. And I guess some mechs over here as well. They'll be able to better deal with the Neo-Tank. While it's possible for him to move the anti-air away from the HQ, he's definitely not going to ignore my air forces, and he'll probably keep it right where it is, in fact. But at least he didn't build another one. Alright, I think now's the time for a dual strike. So I think this is the first dual strike of the playthrough. I don't know if I got one back in Jake's trial. Can't remember. I don't think I did, though. No, I must have, considering the COs I was using. Right, so we move forward. Time to basically just start wrecking these guys. Do as much damage as possible. And as a matter of fact, I can even... I think I made a mistake again. I can't really get around into the HQ with the T-copter's current position. I've blocked off all of the spaces that the infantry would need to be dropped on, because I don't think it's really possible to... Oh, can you shoot at the anti-air from there? 1, 2, 3... No, just barely can't do it. Oh, this is unfortunate. But I guess it's okay. Because I should have thought of this. My intention was to use the first turn of the dual strike to drop the infantry, and then the second to start capturing. Oh well. As for the units over here, not much they can do because the Neo-Tank decided to not get in the way. So what Kindle's superpower does is that she gets more attack power for every building she controls. And I've captured quite a number of buildings, so this should add up to a decent amount. And this is on top of the already very powerful bonus that you get for sitting on a city or an HQ. So if I do this, for example, look at that! That's a P-copter against an anti-air, flying over a city with the... What is the superpower called? I don't even know what it's called. So yeah, we should be able to have this under control regardless. Regardless of my blundering. This is the way to do it. Move up here. And... this, perhaps. And we've pretty much got this in the bag. Like, there's nothing that can really be done to get past all of these units and stop the capturing infantry. He's got a super, so he could recall all of his units back. It doesn't really amount to much, though, I think. No, I don't think it amounts to much at all. He could build another anti-air, which would be dangerous. For my technique score. Okay. And because of that capture skill, actually, he has to do a lot more to the infantry than he normally would. Man, skills are so highly abusable, aren't they not? Yeah, there's nothing he can do now. We just have to worry about technique now. So, hopefully after this point I will have fixed up all of the problems that can occur when recording like this, and we can continue on with the playthrough normally in the next video. Next up are a couple of maps that are not, I want to say not stupidly difficult, but they are a little bit more difficult than you'd expect, so hopefully we roll some COs that will make it much tougher. It was good to play that map without Kanbei, though. That was a perfect 300? I lost so many units! Wow. Winning is almost as wonderful as I am. Well, if you put it that way, then winning is not that wonderful now, is it? Okay, then. So that was a perfect 300 on Never-Ending War with a CO other than Kanbei. What do you know? Guess I've cracked the code on that strategy. So next time, it's a Navy map, and we're facing Lash with a Navy. Nice, huh? See you later for that, everybody.